The blizzard didn't knock. It slammed into our neighborhood like it had a personal grudge. By midnight, the wind was screaming through the streets, shaking windows and piling snow faster than any plow could keep up. Power flickered on and off. Emergency alerts buzzed nonstop on my phone. And all I could think about were the people around me, elderly neighbors, families with small kids, anyone who might need to get out fast. If an ambulance got stuck out there, someone could die. So I did what I always did. I grabbed my keys. My old pickup roared to life, the snowplow mounted to the front already coated in ice. I didn't think about money. I never did. This was my neighborhood too. Every winter, when the HOA waited hours for their overpriced contractor, I stepped in. I cleared the main road, opened driveways, made sure people weren't trapped. No one asked me. They never had to. Snow whipped sideways, stinging my face as I lowered the blade and started plowing. The scrape of steel against asphalt cut through the storm like a promise. I worked house by house. First Mrs. Delaney's driveway. She was in her 70s and lived alone. Then the Millers, who had a newborn. I cleared the entrance road wide enough for emergency vehicles, even widening the corners where snow always piled up. Lights flicked on behind curtains. Doors opened. People waved. One guy gave me a thumbs up from his porch. Someone left a thermos of coffee by their mailbox with a note taped on it. Thank you. Stay safe. By dawn, my hands were numb, my back ached, and my fuel gauge hovered near empty, but the neighborhood was passable. Not perfect, but safe. I parked the truck, went inside, and collapsed into bed. 4 hours later, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Not with thank yous. With an email. Subject: Notice of HOA violation, immediate action required. I laughed at first. Figured it had to be a mistake. Then I opened it. Unauthorized use of private equipment on HOA maintained property. Failure to obtain written approval prior to snow removal. Potential damage assessment pending. At the bottom, in bold. Proposed fine: $800. I sat straight up. $800. For plowing snow. For free. I reread it twice, hoping I'd misunderstood. Nope. Signed by HOA President Linda Harper, the same woman who once threatened to fine a kid for sidewalk chalk, the same woman who claimed my truck hurt property values. My phone buzzed again. Did you really get fined for plowing? A neighbor texted. That's insane. More messages poured in. Then I found out Linda hadn't just emailed me, she'd CC'd the entire HOA board and posted the notice in the community Facebook group. Her caption read, "Rules exist for a reason. No individual has the right to take unauthorized action on HOA property." The comments exploded. Some defended me. Some stayed silent. Linda replied to every supportive comment with the same icy sentence. "If we allow this, we invite chaos." Chaos. I closed the app before I said something I'd regret. Instead, I printed the notice and opened the HOA bylaws. I'd lived under this HOA for years. I knew how they twisted rules when it suited them and ignored them when it didn't. And then I remembered something. Last winter, during a smaller storm, the HOA's snow contractor never showed up. Cars got stuck. An Amazon truck slid into a mailbox. The meeting minutes were public. I pulled them up. Buried in legal language was the line that changed everything. In emergency weather conditions, residents may take reasonable action to ensure safety when HOA services are unavailable. Reasonable action. Emergency weather. Services unavailable. I smiled. Then I dug deeper. The HOA's contract with the snow company required a response within 6 hours of a declared emergency. The blizzard had been declared at 9 p.m. The contractor arrived at noon the next day. 15 hours late, meaning the HOA had violated its own agreement. My phone rang. Linda. I let it go to voicemail. Her message was tight and threatening, wrapped in fake politeness, encouraging me to pay promptly to avoid further consequences. I saved it. That evening, another email arrived. The fine was now official. Due in 7 days. That's when I stopped being angry and started being strategic. I didn't plow again. When another small snowfall hit, the roads turned icy. The HOA contractor was late again. A car got stuck. Someone slipped and fell. My phone filled with messages. Can you help? HOA isn't doing anything. We need you. I didn't respond. 7 days later, the HOA meeting was packed. People stood along the walls. Tension filled the room. Linda sat up front, smiling like she was in control. My case was last on the agenda. When my name was called, I stood calmly and placed a folder on the table. I'll start with one question, I said. Was the blizzard officially declared an emergency? Yes, a board member admitted. Do the bylaws allow residents to take reasonable action during emergencies when HOA services are unavailable? Linda tried to interrupt. Just yes or no, I said. Yes. I slid the contract forward. This agreement requires a 6-hour response. Your contractor arrived 15 hours late. Murmurs spread through the room. Then I played Linda's voicemail. Her own voice echoed through the hall. I charged no one. I caused no damage. I only kept people safe, I said quietly. But I embarrassed the HOA, and that's the real reason I'm here. Neighbors stood up one by one. If he hadn't plowed, I couldn't leave my house, Mrs. Delaney said. My wife could have gone to the hospital because of him, another man added. The board called a recess. When they returned, the decision was quick. The fine was completely cancelled. The HOA would issue a public apology. And the bylaws would be amended to allow volunteer emergency help. People applauded. Linda walked out without saying a word. 2 weeks later, another storm hit. This time, the HOA emailed me asking if I wanted to help, for pay. I declined. Instead, I offered to train volunteers. Now the whole neighborhood works together. And Linda, she quietly lost the next HOA election. Sometimes the smartest revenge isn't loud. It's knowing the rules, and using them better than the people who abuse them.